think it's some inertia, and it's because a lot of research budgets in Ireland have tended to go towards brand tracking studies in the past. And brand tracking rarely gives you enormous insight that actually creates a change of decision with regard to marketing investment. And I believe that a lot of that money that is spent in brand tracking will be much better off spent in analytics, econometrics, and the newer forms of econometrics that allow to explain the attribution of every touch point along the way. So I think the main reason is literally inertia. Well, I think any advertiser who relies on their brand strength must put advertising as a priority, because we're getting into a situation now where the own brand, for example, is going to become more and more prevalent, and with good reason, because the quality of the product in the own brand world is improving all the time and the price is reducing all the time. So for brands to survive, and people do still love brands, advertising is an essential ingredient. So any product or service that relies heavily on its brand for its presence in the market and also its attractiveness to consumers must put advertising as a priority. Well, I think, when you look at it just on a blank sheet of paper, there is no reason why it shouldn't happen. But of course, the government has a lot of people knocking on its door looking for incentives. I think we're one of the few industries that has quantified the precise contribution that our industry can make. And there's another statistic that's helpful here. For every 1% increase in advertising spend, there will be a 0.06% increase in GDP. Now that's a very powerful statistic that can be used to show the benefit to the government and the economy, more importantly, of incentivising for no more than a 2-year period the industry to get Ireland moving again. Well, what we'd like to do is engage with the government, and we're going to be speaking about that with other stakeholders in the industry in the next week or so, to see whether we can get a meeting with the relevant people within the powers of the corridors of power in order to have that discussion. Well, we just saw the opportunity. Actually, the opportunity was highlighted to us. John McGee, I was talking to John McGee in Irish Marketing Journal, and he had identified this report that he saw in the UK. So we were very interested when we read the report, and we just felt this is something that would be a very exciting thing to do in the Irish marketplace. So we decided that we would invest in it, but we also knew that we would need help because of the overall cost. So we approached some partners, and that's RTE, Independent News and Media, and Google, to help fund the project and also contribute to building the case. Well, in addition to the statistics we spoke of, the contribution to media, I think that's one of the things that Pat Rabbitte in particular focused on in his address yesterday, because that 38% of all revenue to Irish media coming from advertising is hugely powerful and important, way beyond business means. It's important for society and culture. So I think dialing that up and speaking about that in the same sort of volume as we are in relation to the other more kind of GNP and GDP related statistics would be a good thing.